walking sticks. This is for civil unrest, self-defense, or just general self-defense anywhere you live where you might want to have what we call a gray man option, gray woman option, something you can bring with you most places. And this is not a replacement for any other self-defense tool. It's not a replacement for a blade, but since I have it out, I'm going to show you that you have reach advantage when you're using a walking stick, when you learn how to fight with walking sticks for self-defense. It's not a replacement for the Second Amendment here in the United States, but most people don't live in the United States. Around the world where you might live, you might not have a Second Amendment that allows you to carry something like that. It's not a replacement for pepper spray or anything else like that. It's just another tool, something else you can learn how to fight with to defend yourself. So we're gonna talk about walking sticks. I have two lengths here. I have a 36-inch homemade self-defense walking sticks, which is an oak dowel rod. This one is 1.25 inches in diameter. Like I said, it's made out of oak. It's 36 inches, and it is well sanded and well oiled up, which brings its flexibility back and its weight. So when you use it for self-defense, it hits really hard. This is a 54-inch hickory Joe staff, also just a simple walking stick. I put the link in the description below if you want to see the dimensions and where you get these. This is 1 inch in diameter. Because it's hickory, it's stronger than oak. So if you wanted a stronger option, you go with harder woods, harder and harder wood, as long as it still has good flexibility, which is why we oil them. I use a lot of baby oil or mineral oil, not baby oil, mineral oil. I was thinking earlier baby oil is a type of mineral oil, but mineral oil that we put on cutting boards that are butcher block oil. Cutting board oil is a lightweight food grade mineral oil, which is good for your skin. So it's not going to give you heavy metals in your bloodstream, which is not good for any of us. So that's the basic option. So I'm going to show you first the shorter staff, and then we'll move over to the longer walking stick or hiking stick, kind of the same length as a hiking pole or a trekking stick or trekking pole. So something like this, 36 inches is a standard length for most walking sticks. You can get a fancy walking stick, any kind of walking stick. You can get an Irish shillelagh or make your own like I do out of a piece of oak. 12 bucks at I think I get mine either at Home Depot or Lowe's, depending on who's got them in stock. And for $12 or less, sometimes they're on sale. A little bit of sandpaper. I use 80 grit, 120, 220, make it really smooth. Soak it in butcher block oil for 2 days, wipe it off really well. Burn that in with the heat of your hand in a nice clean rag. Goes in, makes it very strong and very heavy. So when you hit with it for self-defense, it's very effective. All right, first way you're going to use it. You slide your hand down the front, the other hand comes up, and point your thumb at the threat. That puts the stick between you and the threat. From your shoulder, you can strike through at these basic angles coming down. Now you're trying to remove or destroy his ability to see, think, be awake. Maybe you knock him out, hit him in the neck, hit him in the arm. Maybe he's reaching with that knife and you're gonna break that wrist, break the elbow, smash the hand, knock the knife out of the hand. Mark asked if they're smooth to begin with. They are not smooth enough not to give you a blister, Mark, and they're dried out in a kiln. The reason that I sand it first is to take the rough part off, make it very smooth. So they come sanded, but it's like a lumberyard sand or a mill sand. It's not super smooth. It's not smooth enough to keep you from getting splinters. You sand it down really well, then you soak it. And a good pack of sandpaper is like 10 bucks or less. Maybe if you get 3 or 4 pieces, you're spending a couple dollars per piece, not even that sometimes. Get it at the dollar store. So you slide your hand down the front, point the thumb. From this position, you can thrust. You can bring it off of your shoulders. Always bring it in tight. Fight from behind your sticks. You can bring it up, coming either direction. Think about knee. Think about his ribs. Think about that hand knocking it away, coming up. And then think about coming across, horizontal strikes to the head, to the body, to the lower body, to the knees if you have to. Maybe it's a vicious dog. You're out walking your dog. There's a vicious dog or a couple dogs. Oh, good. Red Dog says he's used the method. This method, it worked out really well. Any animal coming after your animal, you would need to be able to defend yourself, defend your family, defend your animals. Sometimes you might have to use, or you're able to use this. You could even stick it in that dog's mouth and let him wrestle with the stick instead of latching onto the backside of your dog and trying to shake it to death. So So having a stick gives you some options. It's fighting with sticks, how to fight with a walking stick. First method, sliding down the front, point the thumb, there's your thrust. You have these basic angle strikes down and coming up. You have horizontal, coming across and back, and of course, horizontal coming down, pointing it forward. Allows you also to get the other hand on it. See that you have this alternating grip. There are two ways. One is like you're doing push-ups. The other way is this. One's not better than the other, they're just different. But you're here in this position, one foot's forward, one foot's back. You're behind your stick. That's a key principle. Fight from behind your stick. From here, there's your thrust. You can bring it up, thrusting backward. You can shove it through his face. You can bring it down like an axe. You can bring it up, coming the other way, pushing through, kind of like a shovel. You can slide it through that hand. You can slide it through the backhand. These are more traditional Okinawan or Japanese strikes, sliding through the hands that way, coming forward and smashing. Just some simple ways that you can use your walking stick. When you learn how to fight with a walking stick for self-defense, this is civil unrest self-defense. In case things get crazy in the next few years, I don't know if they will. And someone said to me recently, you keep putting stuff out there, all this fear. I'm saying, I'm just reading the news. I'm watching the news. Aren't you paying attention? There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. There were 4 terror attacks within the last 2 weeks. I'm not making it up. It really happened. So from here, I just want you to have more options to be prepared. And again, someone's going to ultimately put in the comment section, why don't you just pull out your gun and shoot him? This is not a replacement for that. You know, why would you bring a stick to a gunfight? It's not a replacement for that. That's not what I'm talking about. You might not have access to that. It might not be what you carry. It might not be something you want to carry. You might not be able to illegally carry it where you live. Maybe this is your best option. It's better than trying to fight one of these, right? He's coming at you to slash or stab, stick that in you and take away your life, your freedom, your dignity, hurt your wife, your child, your grandchild, and you have a big stick and you can smash him through his forehead, the side of his head, and the temple, and the neck, and the jaw, and maybe knock him out, or bring that through the backside and maybe smash his hand out of the way and stick it through his face for self-defense. That's how you fight with a walking stick, the short one. The second way you get this into the fight. First way was going down the front, Irish shillelagh stick fighting style. The second way, also coming from Irish shillelagh, is bending your knees. And again, as you bend your knees, your hand always comes up. This hand is here to protect your head. Put your helmet on, absorb the punches that he's throwing or trying to hit you with something, or even maybe slashing. Maybe this is here and you do get cut, but it's better than getting cut here. It's better than getting cut here, or losing your eye, you know, having him cut into your neck, bleeding to death. Maybe you get here and then you smash him with this other side. So sliding your hand down the back puts the short side forward. It's harder for him to grab and take out of your hand than this. This is a little bit easier, but if he does grab it, put the other hand on, make a circle, push down, shove it through his face for self-defense. Second way, I keep getting sidetracked. I'm sidetracking myself. Coming down the back. You have this length here. You have a thrust to the face. You can hook to the side of his head or into the ribs. You can bring it straight up like an uppercut under his chin, make him bite his own tongue off, into his neck, into his throat, into his solar plexus, into the groin if you have to. You can bring the long side up this way. You can bring it across this way. You can bring it at an angle. You can bring it through his knees. You can throw it into that front hand again. There's your thrust. You can slide your front hand down, bringing the back side through smashing, pulling. There's your alternating grip again, smashing through his face, boxing his ears, going into the knees, down and into the solar plexus, into the groin, putting them on the ground. You can swing both hands. Notice that as you're swinging, you're pushing forward to accelerate the strike, taking out the knee, into the ribs, into the neck, into the temple for self-defense. This is how to fight with your walking stick. Third way, you might carry it like this, and then you would turn your palm up, or you would turn your palm down. If you turn it up, there's your alternating grip. Turn it down. I don't know if alternating is the right term. If you know a better term than alternating, just meaning the palms facing each other, or in opposite directions, put that in the chat or in the comment section. Like this, you can do this too. There's your push-up again. You're boxing, you're smashing down, you're bringing it up, you're pushing through his face, all in this position. Or if your hand's here, pushing through, smashing like a punch to the side of the face, coming down at an angle, breaking his clavicle, smashing his chin, knocking his hand out of the way, bringing this up, maybe into his ribs, or up between the legs, or straight up. One of the best favorite motions from here is just real tight, real close, right? Close to your body, pushing forward, pushing down. Think about into his solar plexus, up into his groin, all in the center line of your body. I like when you fight from behind your stick. Keep your stick between you and him. Now that's the 36-inch Jo, or Hanbo is the Okinawan or Japanese term. It's just a walking stick. This is the self-made, homemade self-defense walking stick. It's 36-inch dowel rod. If you practice with your right hand, after you practice, also practice with your left hand. Make sure you can fight evenly with both hands or close to it. But always practice, in my opinion, for you, I want you to practice with both hands because it'll make you a better fighter for self-defense. You'll be better able to fight with your walking stick for self-defense. Here's the longer one, 54-inch. Most Jo staffs, Japanese or Okinawan Jo, again, they call that the Hanbo. It's just 36 inches. They're usually about 54 inches. It's like a standard size. You can measure for you. You might be taller, you might be shorter. You want it to come up to about your armpit. That's about how long they are. So that when you carry it, it's like a walking stick or a trekking pole, a hiking staff, a longer shillelagh. You have this bend, 90-degree bend in your elbow, and then you have the short side coming out. From here, pushing straight in. One thing you do with this one that's unique to this style, this length, is this turning motion. And you can bring that across his face, you can bring it back. One of the ways we practice is a spinning, a figure 8 motion. You can then, if you wanted to, change grips. Changing grips back, you do that with a hand. I'll show you how to do that on another video. I just wanted you to see that you could do it. But you don't need to, not for practical self-defense. In fact, I would not recommend changing grips in practical self-defense unless it's like this. When you're defending yourself, this is the best way to change your grip. You might want to smash him on this side of his face and then come forward with the other side, and that would require you changing your grip. So you can practice like this. There are other ways with this style where you can slide it through, and then you can bring it down, you can bring it around. You can have your hands same direction, you can have your hands opposite directions, but we don't need to do all that when we're keeping it practical. When you're learning civil unrest self-defense, how to fight with walking sticks, we don't want to be fancy. We're not getting all esoteric martial arts moves that you can learn, that are fun to learn, that you can do later. We're not doing a lot of fancy spinning, right? We're not doing kung fu movie stuff. That's not the point or the purpose. The purpose is to fight from behind your stick. So with this length, this longer length, this Jo or a hiking pole, a hiking staff, you stand behind it, point your thumb. Pointing that thumb puts it into this back hand, right? So from here, it's here. Now from here, I loosen this grip a little bit. I don't take it off, I loosen it, and then you can thrust from here, going straight into his eyes, his nose, his teeth, his throat, his solar plexus for self-defense. So you're here, you're standing behind it, say, hey, back up, you're getting too close, his hand's always up. He closes that distance, you point your thumb, thrust. And when you thrust, it's going through this hand. To do it well, you can turn this back hand up. To do it even better, you can turn the front hand over, and that becomes like a brake that locks it into place. So that you smash into him, pull it back, and then you punch. And when you punch, notice what's happening. The back side, which is short, now becomes longer because your hand is sliding in toward you, which not only hits him with the longer part, that hard piece of hickory across his jaw or into his neck, his temple, his neck, his ribs, his hand is trying to stab you. But it also, by pushing, like before, that accelerates, try not to break the camera, that accelerates the speed of the strike, making it harder, making it hit him faster. So from here, standing behind it, point the thumb, thrust, pull back, punch, switching your feet, you can slide it back again. You're pulling the back hand, sliding it away from the front. And now bringing this down at an angle, maybe clavicle, forehead, arms. The question is, what can you remove or destroy? That comes from Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer. I didn't put it in the link, but I'll put it in the description after the video is over, after we finish this live stream, where you bring it down into his knee for self-defense, smashing any of these positions. You'd also bring it straight down on the top of his head for self-defense. Sliding your hands back and forth is another way you can practice. And then we call this hand walking. You can call it whatever you want. And then hand sliding. Notice that your hands pass over each other. And again, the purpose is, if your right foot is forward, your right hand is forward, that's your power side coming into his face. Power side isn't the right term. That's your power side. That's your front side. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That's your front. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to tell you, hit him with this side. And then when you're ready to switch your feet and hit him with this side. Because when you step with it, you're turning your shoulders and your hips. You're bringing your entire body, all the weight of your body, into that strike. And you're accomplishing it with this motion here, or like I said, this motion here. One's not better than the other. They're just different. And when you practice it, you're gonna go so fast that this and this will be almost as fast. In fact, your sliding probably is gonna get faster when you learn how to fight with walking sticks for civil unrest self-defense. This is the Joe. Now, I've only showed you a few ways to fight with these walking sticks. My favorite length for hiking is this, right? Because it's longer. And I put a link in the description. You can see this is a Cane Master's walking stick or hiking stick. You can put like a brass tip on it, and that would protect the wood from getting chopped up by the trees, not the trees, the dirt, the gravel, the concrete, the asphalt, whatever you're walking on, or a rubber tip if you wanted to. Brass obviously lasts longer, hits harder, might take his tooth out for self-defense. This is a little bit more versatile. It's about the same length as a riot baton that the police officers might carry. And someone asked me this the other day. You just walk around with your walking stick? Well, yeah, you walk around with your walking stick. You carry that stick with you everywhere you go? Well, not all everywhere I go, but you could take, maybe if you can't take the stick everywhere, although you can take walking sticks pretty much everywhere you go, especially if you wanted to go with a homemade self-defense walking stick, you might carve your initials into it. If you're a good whittler, you might whittle a little scene into it. You might stain it, make it a little bit darker, make it a different color, maybe a nice deep green, finish it, right? You might make it look like a walkie, or put a knob on the top, put a grommet on the bottom. That knob might take his teeth out. Grommet might take the teeth out, right? So you could carry it with you. But here's the rule of all stick fighting. I believe in all sizes sticks. I have the little stick, the 6-inch, the 8-inch. Those are the hand sticks, the palm sticks, the Yawaras. And then you go up to the Tanbo, which is an 18-inch stick. Then you go to the 28-inch, 26, 28-inch Kali, Salat, Arnis sticks. And then you go up to the 36-inch. Then you got a 40, 50, 60-inch sometimes, or maybe 54-inch bow or a Joe. That's what we're talking about. This is the Hanbo, the Joe. And then the 6-foot bow staff, or bow. Bow staff means staff. So the bow. But you have all these different lengths. And someone might say to you, you can't carry them with you. Why would you learn how to defend yourself with that? And I would say, tell them you carry the knowledge of the stick fighting here. What did Mr. Miyagi say? Your black belt's not here, it's here, or something like that. Anyway, you carry the knowledge of how to smash someone's teeth down their throat and defend yourself and your family with a stick of all different lengths. In here, and in here, and in here, right? And then, if you need to, you pick up a stick. I've got, my wife told me we're going to a quick little trip up to a beach next week. She said it's a driftwood beach. Every time I go to a driftwood beach, I find a bunch more sticks I could hit people with for self-defense. I know, it's where I'm wired. But there's sticks everywhere. I walk around and I'm looking, I'm constantly, when I go into a place, I'm looking for what can I pick up and defend myself with. I can't carry this everywhere I go. getting ready to go out of the house. I'm going on some errands. Before I get in the errands, I'll put in my holster. I'll put in my extra magazines, and I will have this as an option. I always have at least one blade. Yesterday someone said, hey, do you have a blade on yet? And I said, yes, I have 4. Because when I'm working, I do have 4. I have 4, each one has a different purpose. 2 of them are for fighting specifically. But that's the job that I do. But my point is, you should have multiple ways to defend yourself. If your gun fails, and your knife fails, and your sticks fail, then you better know how to fight with your hands and your feet and your elbows and your teeth and your forehead and everything that you've got, right? For self-defense, you need to be able to defend yourself. So stick fighting, learning how to fight with sticks, how to fight with walking sticks, especially when we talk about civil unrest. And when I talk about civil unrest, I just mean like what's happening in the world. It's not just in one country. It seems to be happening in a lot of places. And some people will criticize and say, you're just unnecessarily using fear to scare people and to make, this was what I teach. I teach self-defense. I've been teaching self-defense. Been doing martial arts since I was a little kid. I've been actively teaching practical self-defense for my entire adult life. I was in the military. I was law enforcement in the military. I am responsible for security now for a large group of people. And I firmly believe in teaching people how to defend themselves. And I read the news. I watch the news. You can't believe it, most of it. Most of it's garbage. I fully agree with that. But when I work with law enforcement, both local and federal, every day. And the things that I'm hearing and the things that they're keeping from the general public because it would terrify people is that we just need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to defend yourself, your family, your freedom, your life, all the things that self-defense is. So let me know in the comment section what size you would prefer of these 2 or another size if these 2 aren't an option. 36-inch Hanbo self-defense walking stick, or a longer, like a hiking, trekking pole, 54-inch. It doesn't have to be exactly that. Do you like the longer one? Do you like the shorter one? Do you like the really long one? Do you like the Tanbo? You can throw in a backpack. Do you like the one in the middle? It's about the length of your arm, the Kali sticks, the Eskrima, the Filipino martial arts. What's your length? What do you like? Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next one.